blue. All right, we're good. We're in there.
All right. Boom! Is that how we start?
Music's
It's a classic start.
Oh, man.
Oh, brother, that's right. Man, last night at Wednesday Night Fights was fun.
Maybe I'll just play the clip in the background.
No! He's had enough.
Oh man, that's
Oh, I
good.
don't think you've had enough. No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Give the kid a break.
All right.
You need to give him a break.
I mean, look, if you lose in a tournament, you have to recognize when you're salty. It doesn't matter why you're salty. Just recognize that you're salty and, maybe don't talk on a live mic.
No,
Definitely
don't talk. See, no, don't talking is like another sign of saltiness, too, right? But
That's
he's
fine, though.
Yeah, but the way he's like being salty is being himself. Like I'm not even mad at him when he gets like that. I just laugh. Like we all laugh at him,
That's
right?
how I
We're
feel
like,
with my dogs lately. It's like that scene in Anchorman. It's like I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Like,
I always think about like how high the level of saltiness can he get higher from? You know, like we saw last night, he was pretty high.
That was super
I keep-
high, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, can we beat this? Can
we
we make
beat
this?
this?
Can we make this a little bit more salty?
hell. Can we milk this a little bit more?
We should have a salt meter for him when we stream it. And
Salt
as
meter?
Oh,
it's
my
going
God.
down, the salt meter gets filled. Oh man.
Holy shit. You guys realize what episode this is? I had to look it up right now.
What is it?
It's episode number 30.
What?
We made it. All right,
Damn.
let's bring it
We're
in.
flying. We're flying through this. No problem.
All right, we're live. What's up, people? This is the BOOMcast numero 30. I don't know how to say 30 in Spanish. I don't even know why I started off that way.
Wow, where
Bro, I heard new metal 30. I was like,
Yeah,
new
yeah.
metal?
I don't even know why I started off like that. But welcome, guys. This is the BOOMcast number 30. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Holy shit. If you guys are a resident of SoCal, there is so much shit that happened in the last 2 weeks. I mean, these guys know we've been to like pretty much all of them, and they all involved esports arena at Santa Ana, California. So the first thing we're going to start off with, we have a lot of things to talk about today. It's gonna
Let's
be a
tell them what we're going to talk about. Give them the rundown of all the topics on this
Ooh,
episode.
I have it written down right here. First off, we're going to talk about is the recap where we have just from SoCal events, right? We have Electric Cancel, Red Bull, and then we might go over Seam a little bit. We weren't too, focused on that. We weren't watching it or anything, but we also have GGPO announcement. The League of Legends, Riot Games announcements, the 5 games they announced, different genres, all that stuff. We're going to dive into that, and also the PlayStation 5 announcement. So, a couple things to talk about today. First thing we're going to talk about is the tournament recap itself. We had Electric Cancel to start it off last weekend. It was a 2-day event. It's a legendary SoCal major that has a long history for the Tekken franchise. Mainly has been a Tekken series, tournament series. It's the one that inspired NorCal Strong Style up there, Bronson Trans stealing SoCal's ideas. We see you.
Good idea.
It is a good idea though. So shout outs to Tom Hilfiger and Rocksteady for holding it down with the help of the Level Up Live crew with Alex Valle, Shin JN, and all them. That was last weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It was predominantly a 3D fighting game event. We had Tekken 7. It was a Tekken World Tour Challenger event. And then we also had a 3v3 Tekken 7 event and a Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection alongside Virtual Fighter 5 Final Showdown, along with Soul Calibur 6. So like all the 3D games got represented pretty well. Even Core Values, Dead or Alive 6 was there as well.
Oh, boy.
So, we had them all, man. We had them all. So
You're not allowed to say that, Mike. Come on.
yeah, I guess you're right.
Are you wearing an Evo shirt?
Not only is he wearing an evil shirt, he's wearing a SROK shirt.
Oh my god,
on
I gotta
top
add
of-
an
or a
image. I
hat.
wasn't ready for this. I was not ready for this. How are you guys gonna blow me up like that?
Oh,
my
Lord.
God.
Oh, but yeah. This is too hard to do live. Okay, screw it. But yeah, recap, Electric Cancel. Give us a rundown. How did you guys think about the tournament? Singles, team tournament, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. We were all involved. We all commentated. All of us here were part of the commentary crew there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's break it down for the people.
I mean, I think that it was a really cool event, obviously, because it was so Tekken centric, right? Like, even though you mentioned all those games that were there, Tekken was the spotlight, right? Like, everyone's like, this is the one to watch,
Yes.
everybody, you know? And it was on the mainstream the most. You know, as like a commentator and player at this event, it was like draining to me. I don't know how you guys felt, but I mean, I didn't even commentate the majority of the team tournament. And like huge shout outs to Reno Face for holding that down because
Right, yeah.
you know, he was there the whole time too, and he jumped on for a lot of the commentary. You know, we had a lot of people who helped out commentary. Kizzy K was one of them as well.
Mhm.
I think him and Reno were the ones who did a lot of the team tournament. So when they were on there, I was like, yo, I could use a break. You know, like I was like, I'm just gonna since you guys want to handle it, go handle it, kids. You know.
I felt like we were I mean, we were all set to do commentary, but we weren't set to place so high in the tournament too either.
Yeah, the team
Mhm.
tournament,
And
right? Yeah.
yeah, the team
Sunday.
tournament like was pretty interesting, and I mean, we always have a good time in team tournaments. This time though, Rip wasn't part of our team,
Mhm.
unfortunately, but he started the band together with the 20Z boys.
Well, you gotta remember, I got ditched by JDCR.
Yeah.
That email was hilarious.
That was pretty messed up.
He even had to jump on Smash, sign
Yeah.
on his phone, you
Yeah.
know, with his
No.
Korean phone. He doesn't even have
Yeah.
American internet, and he's like, "Let me just disconnect Rip from my life real quick." You know,
Yeah.
swipe right.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I think that wait, swipe right is yes. I think Mike.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Swipe left.
I'm not gonna play that game.
But yeah, it was definitely fun. Team tournament. I think team tournaments are always going to be fun for everybody. I think the majority of what people have seen from Strong Style and now Electric Cancel, they're it's starting to like build up that momentum again. Hey, do you got a team? Like people people like teaming up with friends, having a good time. I think that's the big thing. Singles tournaments is always serious. It's all up to you. The stress is there. And
Everyone's
the
getting,
tournament,
scrounging for points now. It's closer to the
and
end of the season now. All that stuff, right? Yeah.
all that friendship goes out the window when those
Mhm.
TWT points are on the line. So, but damn, it was definitely fun. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
and
a
of
good
course-
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say the team tournament was a lot of fun. You guys did amazing. Suiken played crazy in the top 3. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure you guys check it out. But in the singles, AccuMajor comes out of nowhere,
That
and
show's so
AccuMajor comes out and beats Jimmy
good.
Brian
The
Miramax,
mirror, yeah.
also from NorCal. He's originally from Korea, but he's been living in NorCal for like 10 years or something, I think.
Fuck, really? He's been
Yeah, a
that
long time. I heard. I can't confirm that, but that's what I heard. And so that was cool to see. I remember playing him online like the tag 2 days even.
Yeah.
So for him to finally to see him at an offline event like this and do so well, he made top 8.
Mhm.
We had Rest from Australia who also made top 8. Speakix was also on winner's side top 8. So we had 2 Horangs in the winner's side top 8. It was crazy, right? So Electric Cancel, it seems like it's back. It seems like the guys, we went out with dinner with them the other night.
Oh yeah.
Had some Brazilian barbecue, and it seems like they're they kind of liked doing it. They didn't have as much time as we wanted to have
Right.
this time to set everything up because they haven't done it so long. All of a sudden, it's like, yo, this TW thing's happening.
Right.
Vice was like, yo, can we bring back Electric Cancel? They're like, what are we doing in our lives? Fuck it, and so they brought it back. So I think it's cool. I think that they want to do more of them. So if you guys, I know they have a Twitter account. If you guys want to just show them some support and let them know what you liked or didn't like, I think that they'd love that criticism to improve the event for next time.
Yeah, big shout outs once again to Tom Hilfiger and Rocksteady for holding it down for the Tekken community, coming back, reviving an old school SoCal legend of a tournament. And yeah, I got the photo right here. Shout outs to Toby Moto once again. He was this is from Suiken's tweet. Yeah, that's the second place right there. Our team, Suiken, the MVP,
yeah.
Ricky, and myself. Sorry, Rip, Suiken. I mean, Ricky hit us all up in that group chat without you, the one without you.
I
in
noticed.
there.
Yeah,
And then he's
yeah.
like, hey, you guys want to team up?
The stench of betrayal was there. He really was hiding that shit too. Like I was wondering why you weren't in that chat, and I was like,
That was good.
I was gonna ask Rip, but you know what? I don't ever team with you guys as much as I want to anymore, and I was like, okay, fuck Rip. Let's
Yeah.
let's team up.
Look, man, everyone was ditching me. It's fine. I'll find another team. It won't be as hard for me, fuckers. Damn it.
But yeah, go ahead and check out Yo Tobimoto on Twitter.
Mhm.
He definitely has the album of all the photos and stuff. There was like a pretty cool
Mm-hmm.
shot of like JDCR and Major just hanging out on the steps
Yeah.
on the stage, and I was like,
Mhm.
damn. Even though he's been in America for 10 years, like damn, that connection, that friendship, through Tekken is still there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Pretty cool. Definitely give that man a follow. Check him out. Check that album out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Electric Council singles tournament was fun. Team tournament was fun. We also have Tekken 5 Dark
Oh
Resurrection.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that
That
was
was a
fun to
lot of
watch
fun
again.
too. Suiken, you didn't enter. You mostly commentated that event.
Yeah.
Did you want to break that down?
Like what Rip was saying earlier, commentating and playing. This is why I don't stream online. Also, by the way, when we do online tournaments and you guys are streaming and playing, the frustration level is too high, and the salt level is even higher, especially in that series. And I know, like when I'm playing and commentating, I can't do both, and I'm realistic about it. So I like watching my friends play. I like talking shit to them when they're playing. It's even more enjoyable to me, and that's why I didn't join the DR, even though I was probably gonna win it. But you know what?
DR lay back turn down one is pretty cheap, but
Pretty cheap, yeah.
Yeah, Kudons, there's a really funny clip on my Instagram where he's watching the top 3 and he's in it. But he's just sitting there in the crowd and he's like 2 seats over from me and he's just laughing. He's just constantly laughing at the screen at like how the players are playing. It was like Jackie Chan and I forgot who the other player was. It might have been you. Were you top 3, Mike?
yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
us
So
too.
It's Jackie Tran versus you, and he's just laughing his ass off the whole time at Jackie Tran. Because he said like I forgot I could, it's hard to understand because he was laughing so hard, but he was just saying like only mix up,
Yeah,
only
yeah,
mix
the
up,
Anna.
always mix up,
Mhm.
and he just kept on laughing. He couldn't stop laughing.
He was laughing at the
Jackie Tran.
Anna, huh? The Jackie
I mean, at
Chan's Anna.
everything. Dude, it was the Jack too.
Damn.
And so he was just dying laughing. So finally I'm like, I gotta take out my phone. So I started recording him. And then Rick is just standing behind me. He's like, that's pretty funny. Like,
You gotta upload that clip. I gotta see that.
it is. It's
Oh, it
uploaded.
is?
It's on my Instagram.
Okay.
I tag because whenever I have I go to an event on Instagram, I make story posts, right?
Mm.
And then I archive the story post as the event on my profile. So if you guys want to see it, it's on Instagram.com. Level up the
Hey,
game.
there it is.
And then there's what you call it.
That's one
an
way to
Electric
sell
Council one.
the shield the Instagram.
Hey, I mean, you asked for it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no,
It's right
I did.
there.
Well
And I'd
placed,
point him
boys, well
somewhere.
placed.
Good stuff. But yeah, Electric Cancels, shout outs again. If you guys attended the event, thank you once again. And thank you guys all for stopping by in the lovely city of SoCal, Santa Ana, It was
Mhm.
great. And moving on to the week after. We went back there again. Actually, we went back there for the Wednesday night fights. There was a
A couple days
dojo.
later.
And then we went there on Friday for Vanguard bonus round. Me and Suiken were there. And
I didn't go
then
to that.
we went back again to Red Bull Conquest,
Oh,
Los
boy.
Angeles. Rip and I commentated top 8. Zukin was a competitor there. What'd you guys think about Red Bull this year around,
Rise.
Yeah, I know. We had
Rally.
so much fun with that shit.
Conquer.
Like, why did she say it like that, right? We were like discussing that.
Rise.
It's like, dude, the rise got me. I remember I was just doing errands around the house. I was just left some FGC stream on, and then I hear that commercial, right? And then the announcer, because last year the guy was like, rise, rally, conquer, right? Something like, right? But then this year it was like, rise, like, rally. I was like, what?
Conquer.
Conquer, I was like, what happened?
Yeah, it was interesting, interesting voiceover work, I would say, compared to previous years. But yeah, I mean, Rebel Conquest, I showed up super late because I think our call time was like 5 or 6 p.m. and they were running behind schedule. The tournament started at like noon or something. Suiken, you were there early, right? You were there throughout the whole day. How'd that
Yeah,
go?
it was like
Yeah, I
live
did
streaming the event too. If you guys
Yeah.
caught that footage.
Yeah, I did the IRL stream early. I usually like to show up and do IRL streams. You guys know that already. And just so that we can start building the hype, get a glimpse of people that weren't there, see how it is out there for Red Bull. I know like a lot of people always say I want to come out there eventually, but hey, wanted to, come out there and just do it. But yeah, I should have done that. I got too super tired too early. And yeah, just, hopped on the mic, filled in, covered my boys back, all that stuff, it's definitely fun. And on top of it, Red Bull was giving away hella swag. I couldn't believe it. They were giving away
Yeah.
like sweaters, hats, t-shirts, and they were all like Street Fighter stuff, but super expensive. I'm talking like $40-$50 worth
Right.
of stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, I walked home with a couple of sweaters and hats.
Nice.
And, yeah.
No, that was really cool compared to last year because this year I
Mhm.
believe they gave everybody who entered for the tournament, which was only $10 entry fee, right? And then it's
Yeah.
just like after that, you go in, they give you a ticket, you get to go to the merchandise booth, and then you get to pick one item with that ticket. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's super cool. I mean, just
Mhm.
giving a little bit of extra stuff to the competitors and not just the event, you know. Yeah, there it is, the Red
I
Bull
forgot I had
cap.
it.
I got
Yeah.
one too.
Red Bull
I got
Conquest.
there too late for the shirts though.
Yeah,
But
me
yeah.
too. Like I said, we showed us so little. I was like, oh, I want this. It's all extra large. Damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And then, shout outs to all the competitors again in grand finals. It was Speed
Yeah.
Kicks versus Run It Black. Speed Kicks has been out here since Electric Cancel, and he was
Mhm.
at Wednesday Night Fights this week as well, winning Red Bull Conquest LA. So he's going to be making it to the last, qualifying in San Francisco, right?
I mean, I don't know if he's going. We'll see.
Really?
I heard like there's another Red Bull Conquest event this week or whatever,
Oakland.
and
Yeah.
he said he's gonna go. And I'm
Really?
like, well, I said I thought he can't enter again because
If you're a
he
champ,
has a
right?
spot, right?
He's a
But
conqueror.
but he's like, I think he's allowed to give up the spot, sort of like the old TWT rules,
Oh wow! To try to get it again?
right? But
Sorry.
like he doesn't care about the spot. He just wants to go and try to win the money again, you know.
Hmm.
Mm.
I see. I see.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
Red Bull Conquest Oakland is going to be coming up very shortly too. So I believe it's like this weekend, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
It is.
Saturday, Red Bull Conquest Oakland in NorCal.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess BKix is trying to relinquish his spot to try at it again. That's pretty crazy.
Maybe they're deciding. They were talking about it Wednesday Night Fights last night, so
Yeah.
it's an option. I hope they do it. It would be cool.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so shout outs to Red Bull again, for holding down the event. It's pretty funny,
Hmm.
man. Before we even jumped on commentary, we were like, what are the prizes? Can't we even talk about the prizes for this? And then we were like, oh boy,
The
literally,
website says to be announced still.
yeah, literally the last prize says to be announced. It's like, we don't even know what they're playing for. They're just winning a free trip to NorCal?
This is like it's pretty deep into the season, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I haven't been keeping up with it because I'm not working the event or anything, right? Like they hit us up to do commentary at this one because it's the local one for
Right.
us, but
Mhm.
we're not traveling around with them. So I was like, I haven't been keeping up on the pricing or nothing. And then it came, I'm like, oh, there's a prize for first. It's kind of small, but like you get that cool stick. The stick they give away is super cool. It's
Mhm.
customized per city, right? Which is awesome. So it's a sick trophy. But then I was like, what's the grand prize? What are these guys all playing for? They've been going around the whole country doing the tour. What are they playing for? To be announced. Maybe they'll announce it at the finals.
Oh my God.
By the way, guys, you guys are playing for $750.
I know,
This
right?
is $250 more than what you got at your local. That's huge, right? Think about 50% more prize pool. You guys qualified.
That's how they sell it, huh? That's
I
the
don't know.
pitch.
It's kind of surprising, like as big as this whole thing is, that they haven't announced that yet.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of surprising fact for me too, because we were looking at the rules and we were just like, what are some talking points before we jump on to commentary? And we're like, we literally have no idea what the prizes are. Just
Yeah.
scrap it. Don't even talk about it. They're
Nope, yeah, don't
they're
even talk
they're
about it.
fighting for the prize trip to NorCal, and if you're already in NorCal, you
For
get
honor.
you get to
For-
drive up the street to Oakland. I mean,
Mhm.
Oakland to San Francisco.
That's not a
Woo!
prize at all.
Right?
I'm like,
wha-
can I say I want to pass on this prize, guys?
Yeah, that one's pretty interesting. But yeah, shout outs to all the events that were held at the esports arena, VIA, and all those guys for holding it down, just so that we could have all these opportunities
Yeah.
and spots and stuff. Even though we're like, oh man, we've been at the esports arena so much, it feels like a second
Yeah.
home, and we're kind of getting sick of it. But it's like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I look at it as like maybe it's a good problem to have sometimes. I don't know.
I mean, I think that was like the only criticism about Electric Cancel for me, right? Was that it was that esports arena, which for those of you guys who don't know, it's where we are every week for Wednesday Night Fight. So to have like any major there, like, because in the past it's been home to like Capcom Cup for like the first half of Capcom Cup, right?
Right? Yeah.
And so like it's a venue that gets used a lot, but because Wednesday Night Fights is there every single week, it doesn't have like a feeling of the event when you're there.
Like
Like
that
if
sentimental, that special feeling.
No,
special,
right.
Yeah.
Like Capcom Cup or Electric Cancel now is associated with that, which is like, isn't that just Wednesday Night Fights? It waters down the feeling of the event because it's used so
The
much.
grandiose, aspect of a major and all that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Definitely.
always sorry to interrupt, but the always feeling that I always get whenever I travel and I go to events is when I walk into a venue, this atmosphere of takes over. Like you're
Hmm.
here to compete. Remember, like when I went to Japan,
Just
I felt
feed
like
off the energy of
yeah,
the
yeah. I
yeah.
was like, I'm here. I'm a competitor. These guys are the enemy. I got to do it. But then here I am walking into esports arena, and then I see like Run It Black. I'm like, what up, bitch? Oh, go cry somewhere else. You know,
I-
like, it's like one of those things. Like how can I be? How can I get into the competitive spirit when Wednesday night fight to us is obviously our home to goof around, have a good time, showcase some Tekken, and just have a great time. And here we are. We're playing top 8. You're in a crucial match, and you're doing delayed hop kicks. Waiting for this delayed hop kick to win, and it doesn't happen. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh shit,
yeah,
okay,
I definitely
learn my
see what you
lesson.
guys
Learn
mean.
my
It
lesson.
it takes yeah, that little special feeling of like,
Yeah.
but also when I'm looking at it too, maybe we're looking at it with what's that saying? Rose tinted goggles or something, rose tinted glasses, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
maybe that's how we view it, but maybe an outsider
Mhm.
from a
Hmm.
foreigner, they're like they don't see that
Right.
weekly event. They don't go there for Wednesday night fights every week. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is let me just soak this all in.
Oh,
All
that's true.
that tournament energy is just thank you,
Mm.
Mina, for the energy. Boom, all that shit, right? So it's
A
like,
lot
Maybe.
of people did say like, it was very like the atmosphere was really great. It's kind of like a club because like the lights were low
there's a
and
there's like
bar,
Hmm.
yeah. So
degenerates
everyone,
getting drunk at 10 a.m. because
it's just
there's
Kenny.
Just Kenny
It's just Kenny
buying
that
everyone
was
else
there.
beer.
Okay.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Influencer, right? Influencer of the
Hmm.
Yeah.
community.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people had a good time. They liked the atmosphere. I think, yeah, like what Rip was saying, maybe for a lot of us that always go there, it's gonna not have that pizzazz. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. What I always like to, even the older SCRs being held at UC Irvine, I always like that
mhm.
venue too, just because it's like, oh, change of pace. It's not where we
Mm.
have our
Yeah,
weeklies, and it's like food
Hmm.
options are pretty plentiful, but
yeah.
it
Oh
is
yeah,
what
the
it is.
food court and everything. I remember
There
all
was
that.
also
Yeah,
college babes there too,
I
so
love
that
that
was
venue.
pretty dope.
Love that venue.
Yeah.
Dog, back then, come on now, they were
Dude,
back.
all the Eris subs next to the doors outside, super easy access
Yeah,
in and out from the Eris sub area. It's good times. It's
I
good
missed
times.
that venue.
Yeah, it's a good venue. It's definitely one of my favorite SoCal venues. But all right,
Hmm.
moving on. I
Yes.
think none of us really paid too much attention to this tournament. I think Tasty Steve was there. It was a Southeast Asia majors. There were
hmm
pretty big majors, but this year I believe Tekken wasn't that
They're
big
not
on
even on the
points.
list. They were like last year they were a master level event.
Wow.
This year they were not even a challenger.
yeah, they're not even
So
on there.
they've fallen off.
Boo!
I assume that they ran it as a dojo event, but to be honest, because it wasn't like listed, I didn't even really follow it this year.
Master to a dojo?
How
Basically,
how did that happen though? Like
I don't know. I mean,
from a
technically,
perspective,
final round did the same thing this year, right? Final round was a master, and now it's nothing this year because it came before the tour. So it's not the only event to fall off the radar for the tour this year. There was a lot of shuffling going on, so
Yeah, shuffling is a
whatever it
good term.
was, it is it's not there. Hopefully, it's back next year because I was there last year and it
Hmm.
was a fun event. Singapore is amazing. I want to go back. So
Hmm.
hopefully, it gets its status back. I actually don't know how the tournament went this year because I didn't
Right.
follow it. Did you guys check it out
I
for
I
think
Tekken?
missed it too. Like I felt like that tournament kind of slipped under a lot of people's radars when it was like such a huge prestigious event before. So it's
yeah.
just like,
Previously?
yeah, it's so strange, right? So
It's like
strange.
Hmm.
the
Sad to hear.
falling of grace type of deal, like
Hmm.
on top of the mountain, all of a sudden you're at the bottom, like the pebbles. And
Yeah.
there's so many dojo events and so many events that are happening now. Like, um, I don't know,
Oh yeah,
it's
there was
so
just a
strange.
Korean dojo event the other night
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Peacekeeper,
Peacekeeper, yeah, the Hwarang
Hmm.
Peacekeeper.
UIU tournament, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
I restreamed that one. That was fun.
And
yeah. I
Cherry
saw
Bear and
that. And
Mango got third. I forget the
yep.
top three. I think it was Nee, Chanel, Cherry Bear, and
No, no,
Mango.
no. Whoa,
No,
no. Nee wasn't even in the tournament, bro.
Oh,
yeah, he
I knew
wasn't
that.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I just
Sunship.
saw the Joker pose or whatever, right? That Chanel
Oh, yeah.
tweeted, but then he was like, "It's Brian's pose." It's like, oh, I see it, but it looks like the Joker
No,
movie pose.
yeah,
The new
yeah.
one, he's just like dancing on the stairs. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
No, yeah, Lowhigh won that tournament.
Yeah, Lowhigh.
Sunchip got second.
Oh yeah,
So
Sunchip.
the thing about that tournament, they were sending the highest placing non-sponsored player to the LCQ. So Sunchip is going to the LCQ in Thailand for the finals.
Fucking tight. Sunchip,
Mhm.
old school
Old
Tekken
school.
6, like Brian player back with the geese. I saw a
Not
little-
anymore though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He brought it. He was like he lost like 5-0 or whatever to Lowhigh, and so he's like, all right, screw it. I'm just gonna try Brian. The crowd all cheered, and he got his ass kicked. And he's like, all right,
Yeah.
GG tournament.
Oh
You know.
man, it's the JDCR Heihachi effect.
Basically.
Heihachi, and then
Yeah.
He's bringing him back. Full speed ahead. All right, not kidding. But all right.
Iceberg, dead ahead.
Dude, don't even try to avoid it. Straight into it.
Yeah.
Aim right at it. All right. But that looks like it's going to be it for the tournament recaps for this episode. A lot of stuff that we had to go through. I feel like the last episode wasn't even that far up behind, but it's like, dude, SoCal was so flooded with tournaments. And then we had SEAM, all this stuff. So, but yeah, a lot of news also broke out. Not just tournaments. A lot of big news. And you know what was kind of funny? Rip and I kind of talked a lot about these topics, and then literally the day after we were talking about it, they dropped it on us. A lot of stuff, they just dropped it on us everywhere, right? So shout out to Tony Cannon. We're going to go ahead and flip this over. Tony Cannon, the Cannon brothers, right? The twin brothers that also hold Evolution every year, right? They announced that GGPO is now free. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, it's huge, right? So basically, previously, you had to have a license, which was like a semi-inexpensive license to attain. But it was just like this little hurdle, right? Like you had heard about GGPO, you didn't really know how it worked, so you're kind of like, yeah, I know it's supposed to be good for fighting games, whatever, right? But now, as a developer, it's like, look, if you don't have any kind of rollback netcode in your game, like it seems to be the style of netcode that you should be implementing. It's been a proven model that's been shown to work,
right?
And now it's completely free for
so
commercial and non-commercial use, and also you can attribute them and say like, hey, thanks to these guys for the code that's in this game, or you don't even have to do that. So basically, there's no excuse to at least look at it and try to incorporate it. Okay.
Exactly. They just made it an open source for all these developers to freely use it. But just so you guys know what we're talking about, GGPO is this a network for rollback, right? For fighting games. So every time it thinks it didn't work properly, it'll roll back and try to adjust itself, accounting for lag and stuff like that. That's like the real gist of it, like super simplified version I could give you guys. But what's the other type of network that they used?
Delay-based lockstep, right? So let me just talk about it really briefly, because I put out a video on the YouTube channel talking about this in depth. It was like 30 minutes long, and so maybe people didn't get it, because I went through the comments and a lot of people also were talking about how like oh man, I really wish they fixed the PS4, whatever, right? So let me just talk about this briefly. Okay, so rollback, you can set it basically, right? It takes a lot of CPU power to do rollback because you have to simulate all the skipped frames, right? So let's say you have 5 frames of rollback, okay? And like you notice like, okay, we're on frame 5 now, but he did something different on frame 1. So what you have to do within one frame is go back to frame 1, recalculate what actually happened, simulate frames 2, 3, and 4, and then re-show where you actually at frame 5, right? So those simulation frames are very expensive on your CPU, okay, to do that many frames of it. So it's something that you have to really build into your engine and really prepare for when you're building the game from scratch,
optimize your system to
run
better, right?
So
for the CPU.
So basically, where I'm at currently is I think Tekken 7 already has rollback, and I think this is totally hypothetical. Hypothetical.
Remember we were talking about.
Let me finish.
Go ahead,
totally hypothetical, but I think the PS4 does not have enough CPU power to roll back as much as a PC can. So I think that even though it's the same and similar game and the netcode might be similar, I don't think it's identical to the PC. So I think that's the reason that PC feels so much worse than the PC version. PS4 feels so much worse than PC.
Right.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people, when I said that, a lot of people in the comments were like, yo, I wish they would just fix the PS4 and patch it already. I think it might be a problem where they literally can't. I think there's just
not enough power.
I think Tekken 7 looks too good. and they've spent so much processing power on the game itself that to do this for the netcode, it's too much. Too much of a strain on the system. If you guys remember in Tekken Tag 2,
That's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah.
they disabled all the stage effects for online, right? Like all the fish on the boat, none of that was there. At the time, when we go back in time and look at that, I was talking about it and I was like, why are these guys so dumb at Namco? You know, like, you don't have to sink all those fish, just render each person's system. You know, and like, because I had no idea back then. This was like 5-7 years ago. And like, I wish that I had known about this, but I finally did my homework and I figured more and more about it. So it's very expensive on the CPU, and I think that that's probably, still hypothetical as I said, but it's probably why the PS4 feels so much worse online than the PC.
You know, a lot of that stuff that you're talking about, piecing it together and like PS4's overheating, eating inputs for tournaments, all this stuff, right? Where it's just like, how much of it is true, how much of it is myth, and it's just like, I think we're starting to see the limits and capabilities of like probably the hardware, but man, there's more stuff to talk about for this for sure.
Right, and one more thing, I just see the chat. The chat says, "Make Tekken 7 again, like Warner Bros. Did from MKX." I feel like they already did that. I think the issue, more likely, was that Tekken 7 was built to a new engine this time, right? This was their first time using Unreal Engine. So, they've already put a lot of work into moving over this engine, and to re-optimize that at the same time with the netcode was probably not easy, right? So they probably put a ton of work in this, because when you look back to Tekken 6 times, to Tekken Tag 2, Tekken 6 was trash. Like, you can say whatever you want about Tekken 7 on PS4. Go back to Tekken 6. That was... that was so.
It was so bad to the point where it was like, why did they even bother? It was almost at that point.
Right, and so basically, when people say like, dude, why don't they just use GGPO? Like, what they're really saying is, why don't they use a style of rollback netcode like GGPO, right? Because like games like MKX or NRS. They've updated their stuff. They're using rollback netcode, KI as well, but they're not using GGPO, right? It's just this framework, this template of rollback netcode that you can use that's now freely available if you don't want to develop one from scratch, which is the big news here, right?
So that's the big news. GGPO open source is going to allow these developers to incorporate this if they want to, but it's just that's
and this is huge.
Really cool.
It's got, as far as I'm concerned, as far as this goes right now, it was Unist or Uniclear, the developer, were talking about implementing it and for their new game, and they were like, hey man, we can't even find the GGPO website, and then the cans replied to that, people started replying back to that, whatever, and all of a sudden now you have the situation where, the cans are like, all right, well, here's the website, and it's free, I was like, oh, damn, what's your excuse now? If you're making a game fighting now, you have to at least try to look at it, and the excuse probably now would be like, well, we don't speak English. We can't read this English documentation.
We don't speak English.
I mean, like, that's what they could say, right?
Because we need the Tekken World Tour, patch notes translators on it.
Yeah, there's a technical limitation. It's hard to do. But GGPO did launch a Discord as well. So if you guys are interested, if you guys are developers, developers that want to get into this, GGPO launched a Discord now. I'm in it as well. There's a bunch of developers in there. People are talking about rollback.
I'm assuming the cannons are in there, giving insight, right? That's super fucking cool.
It's very, very cool now. So a lot of people working on a lot of projects too. A lot of
we'll get into
coders
those. Yes.
Are doing a lot of cool stuff.
And then, another thing, man, GGPO, rollback netcode. What's the funniest thing too? Rip and I, we were talking about this after Wednesday Night Fights, and we were like, we don't even know if Tekken has delay base or rollback, right? And then we're just like, the fucking very next day, there's a clip on the Twitter world of fucking an evidence of like 1 second rollback on the life bar. And it's crazy to me because we haven't even seen that ever until now, until that evidence right there. But
right. I had seen it multiple times in Tag 2.
Right.
So I knew Tag 2 had it, right?
Definitely.
But I personally have never ever seen it in Tekken 7. And what I want to know next now, that clip, whoever posted that clip, if you guys know the guy or whatever, if you guys know about the clip, what system was he playing on? I want to know that.
Can you guys roll the clip?
I don't have it right now.
Yeah, if you guys have the link,
I lost all my tabs.
Yeah, that'd be. Oh shoot, those 69 tabs, huh?
Yes, the Panda clip, guys. The Panda clip. I don't know what system that was on, but I would love to know because, if it's PC, fine, then we confirm it's on PC rollback, right? But if we have no evidence of it being on PS4, then I'm really curious. And whatever they're doing, it's very interesting. Like people have talked to me about in my Discord about like how they've tried to test the game's netcode by using an outside program to lock the game at like 30 frames per second just to see how the netcode is affected, that sort of thing. So people are testing now, and it's getting interesting because a lot of attention has been drawn to netcode and fighting games,
Right.
and
I mean,
it's super important. We've been complaining about it forever.
Yep,
dude,
yep.
just to touch on that topic just a little bit. I mean, Samurai Showdown, we talk about it so much. Great game, everybody loves it, blah blah blah. Terrible
Yeah.
netcode.
Netcode, yeah.
Scene is dying, man.
Yeah.
GGPO open source, implement that shit. Now, I'm sure it's not that easy as just implement
not.
that shit, but
Yeah.
it's there now. It's available, open to everybody. Maybe that's the plan for the future for everybody, right? Everybody just wants a better, seamless internet connection where it feels like you're playing your opponent or your group of friends playing together in the same room right next to you or right next to each other, right? So it's just like
Yeah.
that would be the dream for any online game anywhere. So
I
All right.
have the clip from the chat right now, Mike. If you want to show it,
Oh, I see
I
it.
put it in the Discord. Yeah, you can show that clip there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see. Can we tell what system that's on from this?
Let's see.
It's ooh.
I don't know.
It's a PlayStation Store.
Oh, yeah, it is. So it is from
Yeah,
PS4, maybe.
Yeah, PS4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
the
it's
clip
PS4.
here.
So PS4 does have rollback as well. If this is actually an upload, which makes sense. Like, I mean, how would you do it? Take a PC clip and upload to your PS4 share? Like, you'd have to go through a lot of work to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what it is, but if you guys know and you guys have played other rollback games, when you see rollback, it's like very jarring visually, where you see like characters like teleport to other locations or something, right? When you have massive drops. And this is a little one. And for any of you guys who play Tekken 4 Online, even on PS4, we don't see teleporting, right? So Namco's approach to this is very safe. It's very, very safe in terms of keeping the look and feel of the game the same as you get it offline for the most part. What are you breaking up there, Mike?
I'm trying to fit it in the window. I forgot I can't full screen it. I only have so much real estate on these two screens. But yeah, you guys get the idea. Go ahead and check this clip out. It's posted in the chat. Evidence of actual rollback. And then, there's the proof right there. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, you see the life bar take the red away, and then it rolls back and say, "Oh, that didn't happen." He actually
never
blocked
mind.
it.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Yeah, Tekken uses both, by the way, delay and rollback. And but the thing is, I don't know how that works. And I played a match. This is so crazy because after we talked about the Wednesday Night Fights fight, I played against Comedy Shorts Gamer. We randomly play each other every few years. And he's like this comedian, runs a big ass YouTube channel from the UK. So we played this match, and it was weird because I thought my computer was lagging because it looked like it was like 30 frames per second. Everything was jittering, right? So it was jittering nonstop when I played, but I could hit everything. Doing DSS and all that stuff in the combos. I was like, well, that's crazy, like how come it looks so weird? But whatever. And so it's because whatever the netcode is, when it's that far of a distance and the connection gets bad enough, that's when you start seeing the artifacts of whatever the netcode implementation is. So it's pretty interesting. I'm very curious about how they actually implemented it. I think that there's room for improvement, but to do so would be you'd probably have to sacrifice some graphics quality and save up some CPU resources, or really spend a lot of time optimizing your engine. A lot. It's not easy. And for those of you guys who don't understand it, I'll give you a little brief technical talk about this. You basically, to roll back, you have to save the entire state of the game, right? And so you have to say, like, this would happen to this frame, this would happen to the next frame, this would happen to the next frame. And you're saving all the information. And there's only so much you can do that, right? Because it takes up resources to do all that saving. And then to roll it back and simulate it across again, you have to do it without, say, rendering all of it, because rendering costs time.
Do you know much about this other thing that I've been hearing a lot about as well then? I think it's Stadia, where it tries to predict what you do, right?
This is
a combination. Could this be used as a combination with GGPO? Like something like that?
This is something similar, right? But basically, Google Stadia is going to be like an online play platform where you don't own the game. You just connect to the server. The server is running the game, and they're streaming it to your desktop. They said in a few years, it's going to have negative latency. It's going to allow you to be more responsive playing this thing online than by playing it offline. Does that even make sense?
Does that even fucking make sense? Negative latency? This isn't fucking frame advantage we're talking about here. Negative? You get paid for being fucking latency or something? Like what? How does this work?
The idea is that they're going to, predict all your possible inputs ahead. Maybe not all possible, but the most likely possible inputs ahead. And maybe use multiple computers or machines to simulate all those and then roll back to what you actually did. You know what I mean? So they're constantly running multiple instances. But like, I don't know if that's possible. Like, no one knows for sure yet, right? But it sounds like complete bullshit. You know?
Yeah, it sounds like something. You already
Yeah.
got me with negative latency. Like,
Yeah,
what
that's-
the fuck does that mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Your
I don't know.
internet gets paid for being so good? I don't know.
That's why they said that using AI, in a few years it'll be better than offline.
Don't we
That's what they said.
not even have properly self-driving cars yet, and we're gonna try to predict our actions in a video game now?
And like, here's the thing, like, in a fighting game where you're predicting like forward, back, jump forward, jump back, plus button inputs, just that simple prediction for one
how
input,
the
right?
fuck were you gonna know if I'm a dasher or a jumper
Right. No,
or
but look,
a masher?
that's only
Yeah,
think about that. That's like what, like 12 or 15, 18, 20, whatever it is, inputs at a time, right?
Mhm.
Think about guessing or predicting an analog stick for a shooter.
Can they?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can they guess what an input on a hitbox cross-up can do? Can they predict that shit? Predict that shit. I dare you. I got two left hands. I can move both directions. Yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds crazy, but it could be insane for the future of gaming.
No, it won't be.
If we're looking at just what they're promising, with
I mean,
like,
look, I was
everyone's
wrong
just
about
aiming for
Tag
better
2,
gaming, right? Everyone's just
but, like,
aiming for yeah.
they're all aiming for this online cloud platform, right? They want subscription-based services. They don't want you to own a game and just run it forever, because then how are they going to monetize you after that, right? So they want you to pay every month, give me more money, and that's the game plan. So if this works, it's probably going to cost them a shitload. But we'll see. I don't think it's going to happen. That's my personal guess.
Yeah, it sounds very extensive on their end, right? Like, have all these things, try to predict all these other things. Like, oh, we'll see. But everyone's just trying to make online gaming a better thing, and if it happens, it's great. But we're just a little skeptical. But moving on, the cannons are not out of it just yet.
No.
Holy shit. Riot Games made a big ass announcement. This is right up your alley, Rip. You love them TFTs, man.
I love me some League of Legends, man. You already know.
League of Legends, all those 3-letter acronyms. You love them all. But Riot Games just announced 5 different games, different genres. One of them being a fighting game. We're gonna go ahead and jump over to that right now. Boom.
Yeah, so obviously they announced the fighting game at EVO, right? I think it was the first day of EVO with Steve and Sagem were on the stage with one of the cannons there. Man, I can't keep the cannon straight, dude. It's impossible. It's like the hardest mix-up there is, you know?
It's a 50-50 for sure.
But this is the first footage that they finally released about the game, and it's very, very brief. The game is clearly very early. I mean, I think the can actually tweeted about it. He said it's not even alpha. It's very, very early in development. And that's the shocking part, right? Because we've heard about this game forever, but it just hasn't happened, and to see it now after so long, be like, they showed us, I think, 4 characters. I think it was Darius, Ari, Jinx, and Katarina, right? And so
so these are pre-existing characters in the League of Legends franchise?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So they're all characters from League of Legends franchise, which is cool. I think that's important here for them to do, because to me, the selling point of using Riot Games is that you have this huge player base. They just recently announced that they have 10 million active players per month. All right, that's huge. So if you get like, all right, we got 10% of those guys are now playing fighting games. That's 1 million people that are playing fighting games. Also, that's gonna blow away basically everything else. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how it fleshed out. I'm pretty shocked at how far behind it is, though. It's
because it feels like they've been talking about it for a while, right? It's kind of like everybody kind of knew a little bit about it, but
and then they announced that at EVO, but it didn't. It just didn't. It's like, why would you announce it at EVO if it's not even in alpha yet? I mean, and you knew it was gonna get released here probably and like be revealed here at least. But it's so early, and when does that mean it's coming? Like, when I saw the announcement at EVO, I'm like, it's gonna be at EVO next year then. But is it? Like, they'll probably show us more about it, but I don't think it's gonna be ready to play then.
Yeah, I'm honestly okay with them taking time, but I think what this means for the future could be crazy, right? Like, because Riot with their support with League of Legends and their whole esports team and all that stuff, right? It just
Hmm.
everyone's always saying like this is the next coming of Christ in the FGC or something. You know, this is like this is what's
Riot's here to
gonna
save the world, man.
yeah,
They're gonna save us
exactly,
all.
right? He's gonna save us all, take us to the heavens and save us all, right? And just make
Yeah.
FGC great again, you know, or some crap, right?
Hmm.
But
This
we'll
is
see.
our moment, man. We've been looking for all these big prize pool payouts and everything, and like Riot is the one that's gonna happen finally. Right? Look, I mean, everyone's always pointing out like, look at the League of Legends model. You know, like
And
it's
now
free to
they're
play.
directly getting involved in the genre, which is pretty wild, right?
Right. I mean, like the other stuff they revealed at their event, right? They released like a card game that they're doing. They released TFT's coming to mobile. They released a shooter. They're doing an FPS shooter, which if you guys watched them talking about it, they're very esports driven in it. So they've like that game doesn't look as far along either, but they chose the art style, so it's very similar to Overwatch. A lot of people are comparing it, right? But it's not necessarily League of Legends characters in that one. It's just a new FPS, and they're really pushing the competitive aspect in terms of like everything that people want about like netcode. They're fixing for shooters, like peeker's advantage, they call it. Like we come around a corner first, like the lag shows you popping in and out first or whatnot. So like they're trying to address all of those issues of the game. Bullet detection and everything else, hit detection.
Crazy.
There's one more thing that they really were focusing on. It's skipping my mind right now, but the focus is very clearly building out the esports competitive nature of a shooter first before like really fleshing the game out. Oh, cheating, yeah, anti-cheat. So they're really building that in from day one, and that's their big focus going forward. But it's scary to me, right? Because every other game that's gone esports first before making the game
Yeah,
fun
it
and
sounds so
accessible has
backwards,
always
right?
failed.
It sounds so backwards to make a game that way.
Name me a game that came out esports driven first and made it. I'm dead serious. I don't know. I don't. Seg says Overwatch. Is Overwatch killing it? All I keep hearing is that Overwatch is dead or something about Hong Kong. Like that's all I'm hearing about Blizzard in China.
All I heard about well, you're gonna well, I'm gonna duck, man. We're all getting what
Yo,
the hell?
don't duck,
How are you
Mike.
gonna? How are you gonna? Oh,
Don't
man.
duck, Mike. Whatever you don't duck.
Oh, man, but yeah, that's crazy, right? Overwatch. Only thing I've ever heard about Overwatch is like first year it was huge. Next year, this is just like little things I've been hearing, right? I don't even remember sources, right? The next
Mm-hmm.
year, second year, competitive scene, the tour numbers dropped more than half. I'm just like, damn, they had that big of a drop off from the first year to the second year of competitive Overwatch.
Mm.
But I don't know too much about it, so I can't really say more than that.
Yeah, I see the chat saying Rainbow Six is a good one. I've heard a lot of good things about Rainbow Six Siege.
Hmm.
What
And
about
yeah,
that,
I guess for FPS, it's a different thing. But when I think about Rainbow Six, CS:GO, those are all established franchises, right?
Yeah, they
Like,
already had something in the background that built them up to this, right?
right. So like, it's not like they start off a brand new, fresh game that was esports first. Maybe that's how I should have phrased it, right? Because
Right.
the game that comes to my mind that didn't make it was Breakaway. It was this new genre. And me, Sage, Tay, Steve, Vicious, etc., Filter Reach, were all commentating on this thing. We were testing it. We were, whatever. And the thing just came out so esports, like they had this big announcement, like we're gonna have 4v4. It's gonna be blah blah blah, esports leagues and all this stuff. And it's just like, no one cares about the game though. And then what do you do? Then you're screwed, right? And I see second chat saying for shooters, if you're not making it competitive from the jump, then it's not going to be good anyway. That's a great point. So I guess they're giving it a chance to be competitive.
There was also that Call of Duty game, that whole battle royale, phase that everyone was catching up on. What was it? Blackout? Not Blackout.
Blackout.
Blackout. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That hit for the first year. It was really popular, and now a couple updates later, no one's really.
But that's Call of Duty though, right? Like
Yeah.
Call of Duty's coming out the new game every year. It doesn't matter.
I think that diminishes
they're gonna
their
milk
value of their games. Yeah, doing that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyways, and what else? There was a card game. There's a shooter. They have some kind of like top-down social RPG thing.
I think I got that right here. This is on IGN.
Yeah, they announced a new champion that's coming out, of course, which you guys don't care if you guys care about League.
Yep.
Wild Rift. Oh yeah, League of Legends is
shooter.
coming to mobile.
Oh.
It's replacing Arena of Valor. Like, trust me, as someone who copied Arena of Valor, the control scheme is exactly the same. Right? It looks like this is a tiny update, but for the most part, it's exactly the same, which is awesome because Arena of Valor was awesome. It's just that it wasn't League of Legends. So I think this game's gonna do well, but it's not cross-compatible with PC. they're calling it Wild Rift, which is like basically a spin-off. It's the same game, and they're not gonna have all the champs and skins and all that stuff to start with. They're gonna be building up over time, but this is what this could be. So you can have a 5v5 probably league experience on mobile now, which is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. But Teamfight Tactics coming to mobile is also cool. Yeah. Oh, and they have an animated series.
Oh, Arcane.
That's coming out, which is pretty cool.
From Riot, man. That's a pretty huge announcement. Holy shit. League of Legends, mobile game for TFT. We got the fighter coming, the shooter, the card game, whatever this is, mysterious LOL social game. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff from Riot. Yeah, we could only imagine what it's gonna do to the scene, the competitive scene, once Riot, finally releases this game. But until then, I guess all we could do is try to theorize, wait for more footage. Just I miss those moments. Like waiting for a new fighter, and it's just like I can't wait to grab every little piece of footage. Oh crap, look at that character do all that stuff. But with Riot stepping in now, who knows where the scene can go from here? It's pretty crazy. And what I'm kind of wondering, this is like me talking. It's like I'm worried. It's like, damn, if Riot comes in, is Tekken, Street Fighter, all these other games just gonna get pushed to the side, and it's just this Riot fighting game now? That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. But we'll see.
I mean, if it's got the better netcode and it's fun,
it could be it could be the trendsetter. It could be the
It could be a filler game.
Lead by example game. They could be the one that influences all the other developers to try to keep up with like optimization on netcode and all this other stuff, right? So
I mean, just think about it in this sense, right? If you're a Tekken fan, like what other 2D game out there are you so interested in, and why aren't you playing that instead? Because this Riot game, from what we've seen, it's clearly a 2D game. I would be shocked at this point from what we're seeing if they're making a 3D game, or if the cans in general would make a 3D fighter, right? Like they're gonna make a 2D game, right? And I think that most Tekken fans just don't care about 2D games. Like they're gonna play Tekken anyway. But the Riot game might be super fun. Like the League of Legends fighting game, which is what it is.
Maybe we just all go shill and say, screw Tekken. Why would I do that to make $7,500 at the World Tour when I could play Riot and just
come on, Mike? It's 200,000 now. That was you're talking about 2018. This is 2019, bro. We've not even doubled it. We've like what?
No,
20
definitely.
times that thing or something.
But then this is Riot still. It's like realistically, this is still Riot. Compared to anything that we have. So, but we'll see.
I think it's like
that's what I'm worried about, man.
Connecting us right now, what Riot is doing, connecting people to an opportunity for growth. Like maybe this growth.
That's what I'm
like Rip is saying, a trendsetter. Maybe something they're gonna do is gonna make everyone like say, hey, look. This might work for all of our stuff too. So I mean, I'm excited to see it. It's gonna be a shakeup, honestly, because it's Riot. They're throwing a lot of weight into it. So I mean, I feel like they're throwing a lot of weight into it. I think Rip is right. This game seems kind of late in the stage, like alpha, pre-alpha, nothing
super
really
early. Super early.
Concrete yet. So we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'm still excited about it, obviously.
Yeah.
Can we pull up that tweet I linked you, Mike? This is another thing I want to talk about, the Riot game, right? So, like, the Riot thing gets announced, and I see everyone on Twitter talking about it. But Vi, he made a tweet about it. I'm not calling out Vi. I'm just going to talk about what he says, But he says, League of Legends Fighter will possibly have the following. Number 1, GGPO 4. Number 2, free-to-play. Number 3, crossplay. Number 4, built-in revenue platform for content creators and orgs. Number 5, tied circuits to the LCS and or the grassroots circuits. Number 6, a $1 million prize pool plus crowdfunding for a kickoff event. Cans have a lot of work to do, whatever, right? And like this is, I think, the general thought process from a lot of people in the FTC. They're like, Riot's here to save the day. We're gonna have amazing netcode, free to play, so everyone, we're gonna have a huge player base, crossplay, yada yada. Revenue platforms, a big ass prize pool and everything. And like they have everything that for everything, whatever. But here's the thing, all right. Teamfight Tactics came out this year. It's the first non-MOBA game from Riot that's sitting alongside League of Legends. They're calling it the first permanent game to sit alongside League of Legends, right?
Huge, right?
Right, because you got to remember, Riot, they started like, I don't know, was it almost 10 years ago or something? They've only had League of Legends. They've had like updated game modes to League of Legends, like instead of 3 lanes, it's 1 lane, or instead of 5v5, it's 3v3. They've done stuff like that, but there's been nothing completely different until this right now, which is Teamfight Tactics. So let me ask you this: Teamfight Tactics has been around for a while. Where's its $1 million prize pool? Where's its crowdfunding for kickoff event? Where's the viewers on Twitch? When Teamfight Tactics came out, it was the #1 game on Twitch. It had over 100,000 viewers. League of Legends, the actual thing, dropped down like 80,000, 70,000 when that happened, right? Now Teamfight Tactics, it's dropped way down. It's like, maybe 15, 20,000 people watch at any given moment now, right? It's fallen off significantly. My point being this: despite Riot being gigantic and has this huge player base, this is something that already is very accessible to anyone who plays League of Legends. It did very well. A lot of people tried it, streamed it, watched it. We're very interested. You can see from the Twitch numbers.
Why is it going down?
But I'm saying, like, I think they did a lot of bad things with the patching, etc. But the prize pool's not there. It's not tied to the LCS, whatever, right? It's very different. Now imagine you take a genre like fighting games, which is not super popular and not super accessible for people, right? You introduce it to the League of Legends audience, and you say, hey, what do you guys think about this? Do you really think it's gonna just take off, be the number
thing
one
that they ever played? Yeah, farthest used thing that they ever played.
I think it's more likely that the card game will have a better chance than the fighting game will have. Like, the best thing about the fighting game from all of the League's announcements is that it's a way for League of Legends fans to see their characters huge. Like, every other thing from League of Legends, you see the kind of tiny-ass character.
Tiny little character, overhead view, Grand Theft Auto 2, freaking size. Yeah, like, fucking, yeah, I know.
Right. So now it's like you're going to see your characters, your favorite characters, like this big-ass, larger-than-life form, like, they're going to look amazing, like, no matter what. No matter how they look. And from what we've seen, they already look good, but they're going to look amazing because you see them tiny as hell. Like, now you see them big and like, oh, that looks so cool. Look at whatever, right? So it's going to be cool. That's going to be the biggest selling point. And then it's like, does that translate though? Like, you're asking a bunch of people play MOBAs to come over to a fighting game, right? And try that and stick around so that you can fund all these $1 million prize pools and everything, right? Like, that, there's got to be some kind of economics there. And what a lot of people have said about Teamfight Tactics is it's the cool-off game. And when they say that, what they mean is, like, it's the game that you play when you're pissed off from playing real League. You're like,
it's like League's little brother,
pissed.
Little baby.
I need to play something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you play some TFT. All right. Yeah. I flushed out. I'm chilling now. All right. Let me.
Yeah. When are you gonna be a big boy and play the big boy games like League of Legends, not Teamfight Tactics? Yeah. Stuff like that, right?
Right. So I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I'm still optimistic that it's gonna do well. But I think that a lot of people in the FGC are like looking at it as like, our savior, Riot Games is here. It's going to be amazing. And I think that a lot of people are being kind of unrealistic about it. I mean, when TFT came out, I'll tell you this, I thought, man, we haven't heard about the League of Legends fighter yet. I'm a little concerned, because TFT was doing so well. I'm like, how can Riot risk putting out another game? And then I saw, just when they announced all this, just the 10th anniversary, they announced like 10 things. I'm like, oh God. Well, now it's like, shit, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens to the League fighting game. Free to play is gonna be huge. I think that's gonna increase the player base. Riot thought it was free to play, did well, had great netcode. I assume we'll see the same from this. I'm very curious if they're gonna do like a 3v3 thing, because League has always been team based, right? TFT is the only thing that's kind of solo based. The card game probably solo based as well. But
so
like
you're saying
when I say
fighter, the 3v3.
Yes.
Like
and I don't
KOF style.
I'm saying KOF style, CVS style 3v3, where me, MYK and Suiken are one team. We go online together. We play. My life bar gets taken half off. I stay on. Next guy comes on. I have half life versus the full life guy. He kills me. MYK's up. Get a mic. We're cheering for each other that way.
Battle.
And like, if any game is gonna have good enough netcode to pull that off, it's gonna be this game, right? And I think, and I've been saying this for years. I'm like, team battle format is the best way to get people involved, because then when you lose, it's not on you. It's like,
I need excuses.
Suiken, you guys are the reason we lost, man.
That sounds so toxic already. Just
it
thinking
does,
about it.
but then also when you're losing, right? Like, what's the best way to learn a fighting game? It's when you have people you can play with.
Make excuses.
Like, not that.
Oh, that's not what we're talking about. Oh, okay, my bad.
I bet like you could be like, hey man, you should like do this, do that. If you block this, you can do that.
Hell no! Come on, we're
totally
talking about these the Riot community. Like, most of the time when you're playing League, you know this. We all know this. You're gonna either get like everyone's fighting for the middle lane or the bottom, no support. Guess what's gonna happen? They're just gonna feed. You know what I mean? And if it's a free to play game, you need these points. Well, you get maybe accessories or any of that shit.
Mhm.
I mean, let's be honest here. If I get teamed up run a black, I'm just holding forward. And I'm gonna wait for the salt factor to kick in tenfold.
You can get reported, bro.
Oh shit!
Hey, hold on. For real though, Suiken, when is the last time you played League?
Wow, 6 months ago. I think 6 or 7 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's
So,
been a minute.
Because like all that stuff you said about choosing lanes and all, like they've revamped all of that. Like,
like,
people get what they want most of the time now.
Yeah,
Like back in the day, you had to like fight and chat over like, I want mid. Fuck
exactly,
you took my mid, you know. But it's not like that anymore. You choose your options and the game puts you in. Yeah, so it's pretty different now. Like, so now if you want to do the fighter as a random team, you can be like, I want to play this character. You know what I mean? And like, you know, then you're like, well, I got my character. Let's go. You know, so I think there's a lot of stuff there.
I'm still holding forward if I team up running.
Nah, well, that's you, man. I'm reporting your ass. You know, and you know, Riot's.
Why you gotta be a bitch?
You know how Riot handles those reports, man. You're getting suspended, man.
Oh.
Dude,
this is why you're not in our team.
That's fine. I want to be on your team.
MYK.
Hey, when did that fight go last night?
That's not a team base.
Oh, I know. That's why I don't care about your. Bro, shut up. Peace.
What?
Damn.
You're not gonna get the salt factor from me like you can get from Rib, okay? That's the excelente salt for sure.
Excelente, damn, the finest of salt that man can buy.
When you get the salt factor is after you get blown up by obviously really a better player, right? You start attacking the commentators, right? That's a new level of salt. Yeah, he's not even salty. He got his ass beat by the guy next to him. He's like, man, I'm so mad. I'm gonna take it on the commentators because they're the reason why I lost. Like, that's a whole new level of salt. That's what
the funniest thing to me about that whole situation was he was telling me to shut up.
Yeah.
And she said, shut up and do your job. I'm like,
yeah.
So you want me to shut up and commentate?
Yeah. Like,
but I'm talking to commentate.
No, that's like one of those salt conversations where it's like, you're not making sense anymore, dude. You just told me what not to do.
I was so confused because he started like saying my name and then he started like, he's like, oh, Steve is cool. Steve was talking hella shit too.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
I mean, if it is a team-based game, and all realistically, obviously I'm not going to hold for it. I think that will be a really cool factor to see. I mean, it's never been done that, term. So
yeah.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken, pair play, Evo.
And we all tried it, but it was so bad, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if anyone could do it, it's going to be this game with the netcode. Because their netcode is so bad. Imagine Street Fighter Cross Tekken had amazing netcode, Mike.
But they played it offline. For Evo.
What? Yeah, right. But I'm saying, do you remember we tried to play that? We practiced online. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Do you remember sound would go off and shit because they had really terrible implementation of rollback.
And the future is now. With GGPO everywhere. Hopefully, yeah.
Look, honestly, when the new KOF came, the one that ended up being really ugly, and I played at E3, I was like, is there going to be team battle mode online? And they were like, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then they put it in as like a party mode, but not like a rank mode or something,
So strange, right? Because it's always been kind of considered a party mode, but we're thinking that the Riot fighting game is gonna follow like the League, a model, right? Where it's like team based, each one controls a character. We're all gonna be on a team together, and that's how we're gonna fight. But I don't know. Will it work for a fighting game?
I think if you have a big enough player base, I think for the Riot game, it makes the most sense out of any game out there. Like,
yeah, I mean, definitely, they're the biggest ones to do it, and they're the only ones that could probably do it right.
And you can have a lot of new players. You can have so many new players. Like, you know how intimidating it is as a new player to play a fighting game, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, let them play with two other friends and be like, let's see what we can do, man. Like, let me learn from you, whatever.
But then, as a competitive game, do you think people? Yeah, like, because like some people are gonna, as a FGC member where they're used to.
I think that would be cool too. Because like right now, think about it right now what's happening in the FGC, right? Right now in the FGC, you have Street Fighter League is going off. That's a 3v3 format. It's going to end at Capcom Cup this year. The Olympics is coming up next year. Street Fighter 5 is also going to be a team-based format over there. So like the thing we just saw with 1 in Japan, also a team-based format for FGC. For Tekken 7 and for Street Fighter 5.
So do you think this is the end of singles only tournaments? Do you think the future is team tournaments?
I don't know if it's the future, but I'm telling you it's a very possible future, especially with the Riot fighting game, if they want to go that route.
Crazy.
I mean, the opportunity for team tournaments is always going to be. It's always going to surpass single player tournaments for sure, because it's all team based. Tekken has always been the hypest I've always seen, right? Like
Yeah.
any
Master Cup,
yeah,
SBO, all team. Yeah.
yeah, there's so much hype behind it. So I mean, I stand behind it if it does happen. Steam tournament, sign me up. That'd be cool.
Damn.
But
That's
the hard part is getting these players that have been watching their character, like Rip said, running around 2 inches small, or and walking around, all of a sudden saying, "All right, well, I need to get on a keyboard, a hitbox, a fight stick, or a PS4 pad or whatever, right? And now I got to play this fighting game, and it's a whole different ball game, right? Where you can't wait to hide in the shadows to gank
Oh
somebody.
yeah. So you're saying
It's
like the converters, right? People that are
yeah,
converting from League of Legends. It's gonna be like a whole new thing. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
With like new peripherals on
yeah,
controllers and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
that's so true. Yeah.
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 But maybe they'll, I don't know, maybe the developers will think about that in mind and make it, easily playable on keyboard. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you saw the clip, like the guy was playing that really rough alpha or
Hmm.
whatever, and he was playing it on a keyboard. But I think he was just mashing buttons. But he was a developer mashing buttons to get the stuff out. But yeah,
There
I
was
mean,
definitely some tech in that video. That little clip where it looked like the training mode stage.
Hmm.
Uh,
mhm.
it looks like there's a
Street Fighter.
little more than that. It's like, of course, it's a
But
2D,
I think
but let me see. Let me try to show it here. 2D fighter, but what we see here is like a character with like a gun shooting at
Mhm.
another character up in the sky. The character's
That's
getting,
Jinx shooting at Katarina.
yeah,
Yeah,
getting hit, and then it looks like she's down tech. So they were already
Yeah.
seeing some,
yeah.
system stuff a little bit just from
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
So
and just let me tell you, like, as from when I worked on KI as a focus tester, when the game was like pre-alpha for that, like they were introducing new system mechanics to the game like one at a time. So basically, you introduce a new system mechanic, you test it out, whatever, and then you're like, oh well, we can't have that, or that's over, that's not going to work well with us. So they take it out. So that's what these phases of the game development are for, right? Where you can test out different system mechanics. So right now we're seeing these things.
hmm
A lot of them may not be in there. If you look at that stuff again too, you'll notice there's like 4 bars for each thing. And we don't know if they're actually EX meters or if they're like abilities.
yeah,
Like
nothing's
it might just be like
finalized, right?
it might be like cooldown for abilities too, right? We don't actually know what those are.
Shit,
Yeah,
that's
and
fucking
then
tight. Like,
right,
yeah.
and then at the end they have the it looks like in KI they have like instinct, right? Where each character had a unique thing, or like in imagine like a V trigger activation, right? In Street Fighter being unique to the character, like Killer Instinct is,
Yeah,
right?
because I'm looking at it right now. Look, we have the 4 stocks a meter. We don't know what
Hmm.
the meter does right there.
Right. Oh,
It
but it's an
look,
even meter, is what I'm saying. It might not be
yeah,
mean meter. They're just gray blocks, and it could just
What
be
happens
like
when
in
she
Rising Thunder.
shoots?
You had cooldown on each ability.
yeah.
You
It
said
could just be abilities, right? It could be
she
anything.
Yeah.
does an
And
anti-air shooting, right? Does
mhm.
the meter disappear when she does
But
that?
there's so many gauges too,
I don't
but
know.
none of this is
Mhm.
like finalized. It's obviously a work
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
progress. We obviously tell this is a life bar up here. Up here, these are probably the round counts. This might be a guard break meter, but then what the hell is this under this? Is this supposed to be the character name, player
It's too
stats,
early,
something?
Mike. It's too early.
So many things, right? We'll know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out with more footage.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people are excited about it. That's the most important part, right? Like,
Hmm.
there's a lot of things that they could do. There's a lot of stuff that they
I think the moral of the
people
story.
want them to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story, what I'm getting out of the whole GGPO thing and what we want out of the whole Riot game thing is, that saying, hope for the best, but expect the worst. That way, your options selected for everything, man.
Nah,
You're
man.
you're
I
ready.
think I think the FTC right now is in this place where they're tired of the status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
everyone is fed up. Everyone's like, dude, this shit exists. And now with GGPO being free, it's like you have no fucking excuse anymore. If your game
Yeah.
is a fighting game and you don't come out with rollback netcode, fuck you. That's basically where everyone's at right now.
Damn.
That's where I'm telling you, that's what the scene is like
Yeah,
now because
yeah.
all these
Yeah.
and the thing is like
We just
it's not
want to
even
have
fuck you.
good fighters online.
I
We're
mean,
not
it's
asking
look,
true.
for that.
Like
That's all we
you're
want.
spending money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're
But-
not even put the effort into looking into it. That's a slap in the face.
It's not even fuck you though. It's actually you're fucking yourself because games like Samurai Showdown came out. I would have played it, but I can't play it because I can't play with anyone. Like, what do you want me to do?
When you told me that made me not want to get it, so I didn't. And it's like, and that was a game I was interested in. It's like,
Yeah.
Me too.
Definitely.
I liked it when I tried it. I spent the whole night and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm starting to understand his character. I went to a bunch of characters I found I kind of liked. And then I played like the same guy 3 times and I'm like, is there no one else to play? And then I was like, okay, I think I'm done. Like, you know, it's unfortunate, but hopefully, you know, things change. And I think that we're going to see a shift. I think that, you know, maybe not in the immediate future. Like, games are already announced coming out like early 2020. Like, there's a chance they could still do stuff, right? Implement good rollback netcode now. But if they don't, you know, games that come out end of 2020, 2021,
We could start expecting to see a shift.
you guys need to have rollback netcode. Yeah.
It's unacceptable after that point, you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, and speaking of that, you know, end of next year comes out that next console.
Yeah, that's one of the big announcements that we're going to talk about next. Holy shit, boys. Oh shit, where'd that post go? No, I lost everything. The Zoom.
It
The Zoom.
closed out.
It's okay,
I
Mike.
got
I'll
it.
tell
I
them
got
what
it.
it's
I got
called.
it. Boom! The PlayStation 5 was also announced from the last episode of the Boomcast till now. It looks like a fucking router or like a ship out of Star Trek. If that, I mean, obviously it's probably prototype still, but we'll see.
From what I've heard, that was supposedly what the dev kit looks like. So they might have it to be the retail model. Not guaranteed, you know, but hopefully. I mean, I don't know if that's hopefully. Do you guys want it to look like that? I don't know.
It looks like the
I
top
honestly
part
wouldn't
of the top part of the system right there with all the little lines and stuff looks like a room out of like Star Wars or something. They would be like fighting a lightsaber battle on top. Put like 2 figurines of like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader right there fighting. It would look like straight out of the scene, dude. Like, pull a part of the wall, I'll throw it at him and shit.
That looks pretty cool. Like I actually don't mind how that looks. Like, to be honest, the way I have my console set up to my right now, I've got my Xbox One, and then on top of it is the PS5 or PS4, sorry, and the entire
Really?
you never see the Xbox One. You never see it. You know, all I see is the side of it. Who cares what it looks like? Unless I'm trying to put it like in front of my TV or something, stand it beside it, and be like, look what I've got. Then it's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, but you know, also with the PS5, they announced that PS4 it's going to be backwards compatible. But now, you know, Game Rant over here saying, you know, blowing this shit up, saying there's a rumor PS5 backward compatibility may include PS1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, it's just a rumor. We don't know. They've been saying this shit every time a PlayStation comes out. You're not gonna fool me again. I don't care who says it at this point. You know, you're not gonna get me again. But I'll believe it when I see it. There's the news for the PlayStation 5. What do you guys think about the new console? I mean, we had so many gripes with like, because we've been playing on PlayStation 4 for probably the last like 3-4 years, right? Since the console's been out. And we've been playing all the competitive fighters on it ever since Street Fighter had that partnership with Capcom, and then they had a Street Fighter exclusively on PS4, and then that sealed the fate for FGC from then on out. Every tournament, Xbox died in the FGC from that point on, and everything after that was just PS4 for every tournament. What do you guys think now with the announcement of PS5 coming up?
I mean, it's exciting. Obviously, everyone always gets excited about a new console.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, like the only thing I want is for them to have like a desync all controllers button. Like, I don't care about anything else. Just let me desync all the fucking controllers, or make it so that when you like plug a new controller, it just automatically cancels out the last one. You know, like
just little changes.
Just something. Make this damn process easier so that we don't have to deal with this ever again. Like, I can't believe we've gone through 2 generations of this already. 2 generations. It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
Over a decade of this. Come on.
Dude, every time
down and then desync and then move.
Yeah, they should just have a delete all controllers thing at once thing or something, man. We've been asking for these little UI things forever, man. But
over a decade of this.
Yeah.
This is I don't whatever. It's crazy.
Rocket science.
Yeah.
Rocket science.
I mean, there must be something, you know, like it's kind of like probably like rollback where we like, why don't they just do this? But it's like, actually you can't because of Bluetooth technology. Blah, blah, I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is, just fucking make it work better, please.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think PlayStation decided to be like, oh, let's make this thinking about fighting games and disconnecting controls, multiple controls. I think that
it's not about fighting games, though. It's like anything, right? Like, imagine you played a Call of Duty thing and you synced up all your pads to it, whatever, and then you go to the next one, you sync up your pads there. Like, what the fuck? This last guy hit the home button, motherfucker. Like,
the
it could be across any game.
Yeah, any game that is played competitively with that damn pesky fucking home button on with DualShock 4, anybody with a controller in their pocket can accidentally hit that shit. Yeah, anywhere. It's so fucking. They really need they need a couple things for competitive like console consoles that I would,
Yeah.
I think
Hopefully.
they just don't have a guy checking it off for them. Make sure we have a desync all controllers thing. Make sure if you want to actually sync back into the last console you're plugged into, you have to hold down the hold button for 5 seconds. That would fucking fix everything. But no, technology is too hard. I guess I don't know, man. 2019 is too hard. But yeah,
That's all I want. But yeah, other than that, I mean, PS5 is gonna be sick. Like
personally for me, yeah, I just want.
what if
Hmm.
what if Tekken 7 comes out on PS5?
That's
with
what I was
like
thinking, right? They're gonna
a
make it
complete
backward
package
compatible.
plus like updated graphics. Remember how PS2 came out with Tekken Tag 2 with the updated graphics that looked better than the arcade?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that'd be sick.
Oh, you mean Tekken Tag 1? Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Sorry, yeah, Tekken Tag 1.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like,
Tekken
wait
Tag
a
1
minute.
came out back in the day on
Mhm.
PS2, but it came out like at launch and it looked better than the arcade version,
Mhm.
which was like what the hell? The console version is better than the arcade version? It was mind blowing at the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just want to see if because it's gonna be backward compatible, right? And if PS5 is a superior console, which it probably is the next one up, right? PS5, let's just stop playing on
It's
PS4s. Let's just move everything as the standard to PS5. But that's gonna take a while with switching over consoles, and everybody's still gonna have PS4s and stuff like that. So it's gonna be
Mhm.
it's gonna be a thing in the future, but probably still gonna take a couple years, even after the console drops. So we'll
Dude,
see.
what if PS5 has Tekken 7 backwards compatibility, but it's got better CPU availability for netcode and just runs way better? Oh my god, that
That's
was
what I'm
so
saying. Yeah, just an
That'd be sick.
optimized Tekken 7, so we can play Tekken 7 like it's PC on PS5.
just saying. It's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I would love that. I would love that.
Didn't they? They also announced the crossplay
Did
for,
they?
for PlayStation. They didn't announce, but like IGN put out so first of all they were testing it a long time ago, right? It was in beta where crossplay was available. So like Rocket League already had like dedicated servers for it or something, whatever, right? So basically it was in beta, and then IGN put out an article that said that PlayStation crossplay is now out of beta. It's out there if any developer wants to use it. Okay, and people were like, "Say what?" And then immediately after that, PUBG had crossplay between Xbox and PS4.
Yeah.
So it's pretty mind blowing, right? Like
Is
they're
that the
allowing
first
it now.
game that has
No.
crossplay?
It might be
With-
the first one using this stuff. I don't know, because I know like Rocket League's had it for a while and some other stuff too. But PUBG was the first one, as far as I know, with this framework. Maybe Fortnite might have beat them to it, because I think Fortnite accidentally did it a while ago. And that's how this all started.
Oh yeah. They were the
so, yeah.
trendsetters. Yeah, we just need more trendsetters. Maybe that's what
Yeah,
Riot is.
I like how Guile212 says Street Fighter 5 has it. Oh yeah, I'm sure all the Xbox One players are loving Street Fighter 5.
Yeah,
sorry.
crossplay. PC. Yeah, PC and PS4, but yeah.
Yeah.
With
Rip,
all
Just do
yeah.
your job, Rip. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the other thing was that
Stop talking, but do your job.
But crossplay. When I think about it, if I'm right about my guess about why PS4 feels worse than PC for Tekken 7, I don't think crossplay is possible. Like maybe between Xbox and PS4, but I don't. If it's true about what I'm thinking about
You mean
CPU
Xbox and
resources,
PC?
Yeah. No, PS4 to PC.
no.
Xbox and PS4, they can.
Oh,
They can do
They
it because
can, yeah,
their
yeah.
netcode is already similar. They're limited on CPU resources, but I don't think they'll be able to do it with PC because
God.
netcode would be different.
Why do
That's
I
my
have a
guesses.
follow notification going on? Okay, turn that
Relax,
off.
Mike. It's okay.
I have my
It's
follow
okay.
notification sound going off in the background.
It's all good. The Super Saiyan
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah, we're going further beyond. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, dude. PS5, hopefully more optimized system for a better tournament experience. That's all we're asking for.
It's just a
Everything,
guess.
yeah, everything we're asking for is just for the betterment of the fighting games, betterment of game kind, betterment of mankind, all that stuff,
Mhm.
right? We're just trying to make things better. That's not something so wrong, right? But yeah, hopefully PS5 will make that everything a little bit better, a little bit
Yeah.
closer to feeling like PC, hopefully. I played some guy at Wednesday Night Fights yesterday, like pretty deep into the loser side of the bracket, right? And then he was just like,
Mhm.
man, we had a pretty close set, right? And then after we got it done, and then he was just like, man, I need to buy a PS4. I was like, how are you playing this game without a PS4? How are you playing this game without a console? I play on PC. And I was like, oh, then why would you need to get a PS4?
Yeah.
And then he was like, it just feels so different. I feel like I can't
Yeah.
move. I feel like I can't do anything because he's
Yeah.
predominantly only been a PC player. I was like,
PC player.
Yeah.
holy crap, I never even thought of it that way, because it's
Yeah.
like we've been going back and forth on it because we play at our weeklies and we play online on PC, but it's just like at least we have experience with that timing.
Let me tell you, the
Yeah.
craziest thing that happened to me was at Evo. Was it this year or last year? I think it was this year,
Hmm.
where Rixton and I were there early the day while they were setting up, and they had a little arcade area, and they had a Tekken 5 DR arcade cabinet, and we played on that, and I was like, dude, this shit is so responsive. You know, it's
Yeah,
dude,
it's good.
it is so responsive, and I miss that feeling, right?
Yeah.
I really miss that feeling of that responsiveness.
It was like the same thing in Tech. We were playing Tekken 3 at E3. Remember that? Where was it?
Mhm.
Tekken 3?
Oh, the arcade machine over
We
there.
played Tekken 3 arcade there. Tekken 3 to me feels funky though. It doesn't feel
Does
as good
it?
as Tekken 5 DR. Because Tekken 3, I mean, it was
Older
responsive,
game,
sure,
yeah.
but the animations are all jank and everything,
I mean,
so
yeah,
it
that's
looks
just
all
an
fucked up.
animation.
Yeah.
The feel still feels good. Like I feel like you hit a button or hit a diagonal, boom, you're moving. It's
Do you
instant.
guys know
Mm.
if like the arcade versions of the game, right? Like let's say Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection on arcade with the original arcade cabinet and everything. Do you know if the input lag on that is 0? Is
Oh, I
that
don't know what the number
possible?
is.
Right?
I don't know if it's 0, but it's definitely lower than Tekken 7's because
Yeah.
they've added input lag to the game so
Mhm,
that the offline will be closer to the online experience.
mm.
Right? They told us that forever ago. So that's why the game's been less responsive.
Wasn't
Feels
that?
like
Yeah,
that too.
because I've been looking at Noodle's tweets and stuff, right? He does a lot of the frame data work for like input lag on every
Hmm.
fighting game, right? And lately he's been going back to older fighting games, and even the older ones like Tekken 5, I believe, were on console it had like 3.3 or like 3.5 input lag, and I was like, I didn't even hear about input lag until probably like 5 years ago or some shit, right? So it's just like,
Right.
oh shit, what the fuck? There was input lag since back then. I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
but
It
yeah,
is what
like
it is.
he has been showing that back then it's always been around like 3 or 4. It's always been like under 4. Nowadays we're getting closer to 8. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think that's the thing, right? In Street Fighter 4, that's where started hearing about input lag. They intentionally built it with input lag so that it could play great online, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. You need more input lag to be able to roll back to.
I
Like that's
see.
why too.
Cushion.
Yeah. Exactly. You've created more cushion. So that, and also it's so that you can roll back so the netcode feels better too, but also so that um, you just have more time across everything. So that when you play offline and you play online, it's not like jarring.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think that's what a lot of these developers are probably trying to find a happy medium with, right?
Exactly. They got to optimize and find that spot, which is a lot of work.
That's crazy. Well, the future looks crazy. I can't say it looks bright exactly. I can't say it looks grim exactly. All I can
Hmm.
say is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it
It's gonna
really
be
is.
cool though.
It's
There's a lot of
exciting.
stuff coming. It's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
hmm
exciting.
League of Legends game announcement, GGPO now open source, PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Wow, the
Dude,
future is looking crazy.
one more dude. Sorry, but
One more
we
dude.
we,
One more
we
dude.
talk we talk. Look, the podcast we're already rolling long, but I just wanted to bring something
Yeah.
quickly because I've been in the GGPO Discord. I've had my own thoughts about how I want to go and try it out. It got me back. I've been thinking about programming and everything. I've been testing out some emulators and everything to see if it's possible, but there are a lot of people who are doing the same. So it's an exciting time. I have a feeling we're gonna get to play old Tekkens online at GGPO eventually
Are you saying people are gonna slap some
What?
GGPO on some old school Tekken games? Is that what you're saying?
through emulation, maybe.
Oh.
Fingers crossed. And there's some people I know are really good pros, much better than myself, who are already working on this. And I've not necessarily for Tekken, but for other things. And I'm looking, I'm like, and I'm just tempted. The thing I'm really curious about is we have a lot of PC versions of games now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Can you retrofit GGPO onto a PC game? Like
Ooh.
what if you play a Steam game in offline mode, right?
Hmm.
And then use some kind of a cheat to make it connect to a different online service where it has GGPO or something.
Oh, I see.
Like, is there ways to do that? I'm so curious because look, I feel like also it's
Now that
possible.
you put it out there in the universe, Hey,
I'm
we
trying.
as
I'm
soon
not
as we
gonna do
talked
it.
about the rollback in Tekken 7, it happened the next day. Maybe it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
I'm not. I'm just telling you guys out there. I don't want to do it because it's a lot of work. Emulation. Emulation.
So what you're saying is you're just giving out free ideas. Do the work, people. I just want to play the game.
Yes, free ideas. You guys, do whatever you want, but I just want to play it, all right? Because look, me and Rickson, we tried running a Tekken 5 through Parsec through an emulator, but the problem with Parsec is it's totally host advantage. So I was the host. I'm playing it. It's flawless on mine. I'm like, this is great.
Why do you
like,
suck so
I don't
bad,
want to play
Ricky?
anymore.
Why are you getting hit? Stop getting hit. Stop hitting
But the thing
yourself.
is, he did a combo in Tekken 5.0. So we played Tekken 5.0 online. It was terrible for him.
Wow.
But he hit a combo, right? So imagine if it was a rollback netcode that allowed us to play that actually. Like, that's crazy. Like, playing Tekken 5.0 again is so great. And oh man, it's one more thing. One more idea, all right? This one's for Namco. You guys want an idea? Here it is, all right?
Free ideas for everyone.
Look,
you get an idea.
Namco,
You get an idea. Everybody's getting an idea.
This is gonna happen regardless. You're not gonna be able to stop this, right? And when you do try to stop it, everyone's just gonna be pissed at you because these games are so old, and you haven't given them an alternative. So here's what you got to do, because this is a great idea, Namco. You put it out first. Tekken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, Anthology with rollback netcode on PS5, PS4, whatever you want. I'm down. I'm ready to play all that shit online.
That sounds fucking good. I'm down too.
Yeah.
What? That would be
Yeah.
sick.
That'd be good. That'd be
Hey,
cool.
we're gonna
Do
play
like that
DR with
Strike
rollback?
ST combo thing anniversary. Yeah. That'd
Yeah.
be sick. That
You're
would be
welcome,
sick.
Internet.
Markman's in the chat. He's like, I'm taking notes for Namco. Ooh,
That would
send
be
it, Mark.
sick.
Send it.
It's gonna happen regardless, man. I'm just saying.
Oh,
You
dude.
might as well make money off of
Just
Namco.
I want to play the Namco. If you're listening, I just want one request, okay? Just really simple. Just bring the Wii U version of Tekken Tag 2 Tekken Ball back for online, and I'd be down. Okay? Because I felt like I did not get enough Tekken Ball in my life, so I need those Tekken Balls. All right?
I'm sure you do need
Yeah, give me those.
balls.
Give me those.
Mhm.
All of them.
Balls.
I'll take one of each. But yeah, good shit, man. Hopefully.
Damn, Markman wants vanilla Tekken 6.
Yo,
You don't
Mark.
love-
that's a-
yo,
you don't
Bob
love
down
14,
forward two.
right?
Are you guys ready?
No.
Bob down
Dude,
forward two. Tripping
Lay is
hell
S
sweep.
tier in vanilla.
Oh yeah,
in
you're
Tekken
right.
6.
Back turn down one full combo.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be fun actually. Yeah, bring that back. That would
Yeah,
be
it's just for
fun.
fun, right?
Yeah.
Law had a
7.0
Tekken-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.0.
Yeah, give us all the .0s.
No, not 7.0. We didn't even have rage drives,
Dude,
dude.
give us even 5.1. I don't care. Give us all the versions,
Oh
man.
god, not 5.1. Come on.
Yeah, maybe not
Yeah,
that one.
5
That
was
one's
pretty
Maybe
good.
not that one.
Yeah,
That
maybe
was
not
whack
that
as
one. Scrap
fuck.
that
Let's go.
one. Scrap
Just
that
stay
one.
with DR. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Man, that would be so sick though. Yeah.
Yeah, edition select, right?
Oh yeah, that'd be
Fuck.
sick. Like
Stop it. That'd be
6.0,
so cool.
6.0.
Stop it.
Oh
Stop
my
it.
God. What is this, Street Fighter? I'm done. Oh my
Give
god.
me my 8-frame jab back.
Oh my god. And good weaves? Hell yeah. That'd be sick.
Imagine having
Dude.
be able to select different versions.
We're getting
From
too
different
giddy about
game-
this idea. Oh my
game
god.
Imagine-
franchise.
Dog. Imagine you have edition select, but it has the different input lag too. So it's like
You're pushing it. You're pushing it.
Oh my god. So if you want season 1 Tekken 7 Leo, so you're gonna have 8 frames of input lag, huh? If you want that knockdown down forward 2+3, you're gonna have the 8 frames of input lag. I'll take
or
it.
Tekken 5 DR law with no moves, but he's got 3 frames of input lag. 3 more seconds.
That's
saying.
cheating, man. You're gonna have an
and-
8-frame jab with less input lag.
3 millisecond input lag and an 8-frame jab. Perfect.
Yeah, you're never gonna lose. Damn, your down 2 is gonna be fucking 4 frames. That's insane, dude.
That sounds tight.
That's insane. That'd be fun though. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, that looks like that's gonna be it for today's episode. That was pretty much
Yeah.
all the recap, all the GGPO stuff, the league announcements from Riot, all that stuff, right? With the PlayStation 5 announcement. I think that's gonna end it up for us on this episode of the BOOMcast number 30. Can't believe we actually made it to 30.
Choo-choo.
Holy shit.
Wow. Yeah.
Hopefully more, man. Hopefully more. More often is what I meant to say. Hopefully more often.
Yeah, Rip threw out a lot of ideas for you guys in the universe,
Mhm.
so maybe it's gonna happen now. We don't
Someone
know.
make it happen. We'll talk about it next episode.
Mm-hmm. That could be
Status update.
Maybe 30 is the last episode. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
definitely
it's
not.
definitely not. But yeah, thank you guys all for stopping by once again. But all right, here we go. We're gonna close out the show. Where can they follow you guys at? Whoever wants to go first. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. It's you can definitely follow me on Twitter at TK Suiken, and you can also find me on Twitch at Suiken User.
Boom.
Find me on Twitter, REEPAL. If you guys want to watch the coudons laughing at Tekken 5 VR,
yeah.
check out my Instagram at Level Up Your Game. And then this is the channel, twitch.tv Level Up Your Game. YouTube channel's been putting in work, youtube.com/Level Up Your Game.
Yep.
Shout out to Jin4576 for running that. And he's also got this podcast up on all these podcast platforms now.
Dude,
I have no idea how to do
Stitcher,
any of that.
Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple iTunes, and YouTube and Twitch. Boom.
Yeah, and if he ever leaves, this podcast will immediately stop being on all those platforms. I'm just letting you guys know right now.
Yeah, show that guy some love, man.
Make
Shout
sure you
out
sub to the YouTube channel and hit that bell.
You gotta let him know. You can't fluff him too much. You can't fluff him too much.
Rip's a fluffer? Is that what you're saying?
He's a fluffer.
Oh, fuck.
That's as much fluffing as he's getting, all right?
All right, that's enough fluffing. You mother fluffer, you. All right. What are we leaving behind this episode, guys?
Well, where can they find you, MYK?
Oh, yeah, shit.
Dude.
You guys can find me at... I totally forgot my follow me ads.
Shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm a person. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys can follow me at twitch.tv and twitter.com/the name is MYK. There it is. And the last segment, like I was saying, I jumped a little ahead of myself, is the Left Behind segment. So whoever wants to go first.
Well, the first thing we're going to leave behind at the bottom of your screen right now, it said this podcast is most Thursday, 8 p.m., whatever, or 9 p.m. It's too late. 9 p.m. is too late. We're going to try and do it earlier when we do it. So we're going to start aiming for 8 p.m. All right? Damn it. But yeah,
we're not going to update the overlay. That's part of the thing.
We're not.
It's part of the
lore. We're going to update the overlay. I mean, look, I don't even have the overlay. I didn't create it. So we're screwed. All right? We might have to put a Band-Aid fix over that. I don't know. Does it say Thursday or does it say Thursday there? I can't even read it. It's too small on my screen. Regardless.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's definitely.
We're going to try to do them earlier, all right? A little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Wow.
The other left behind thing will be, I mean, it's got to be Run It Black after last night, right?
Oh.
I think we're all in unison about this.
Here's the thing, though. He lost in Winners Final. For those of you guys who don't know, you guys just see a lot of people came to my stream last night after Wednesday fights, and they were talking about it, and they didn't know what happened. They had seen the clips, but they didn't know what happened. So the backstory of it is,
content.
He lost Winners Final. He goes to the bar, gets a drink, whatever. Comes back, and he just immediately starts being disrespectful to JDCR, right? The same JDCR that left me behind from his team at Electric Cancel, right? So there's no love lost there between me and him. But he comes back all disrespectful at JDCR, and he's like, hey, I just realized you fucking suck at this game, and he's like, yeah, you just mash, you just keep on mashing, blah blah blah. And he's talking about shit, and JDCR is sitting there like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, right?
Yeah.
So then they sit down to play, and JDCR picks Kazumi.
Whoa!
Wow.
Before he picks Kazumi,
I totally
Black
missed all
actually
of
is goading him to pick somebody else besides Dragunov and his other character. He said, "Why don't you pick Kazumi, huh? Why don't you pick Kazumi since you like the match?" Like there was like the side chat like going on.
Oh,
I don't think
wow.
you've heard it, but I heard it because I was sitting a little closer to him. And Runner Black was like, "Why don't you pick this, picking that?" And then he started, obviously raising his voice, like you're mashing things like that. And then you see like, poor JD just like chilling there, like what's happening here?
JD
Like,
don't care. He's gonna win anyway. He's like,
yeah. So JD is like, what do I have to prove to you to choose a different character, right? And eventually Runner Black, keeps on poking him, prodding him, like, and then go on from there. Rip, go ahead.
Yeah. So then JD picks Kazumi and just starts beating the crap out of him. And when JDCR was using Armor King, I used to say like, I don't think it's his playstyle, right? It doesn't fit his playstyle. He doesn't take enough risks with the character, right? Kazumi's the complete opposite. Kazumi's boring as hell. It totally fits his playstyle, right?
Yeah.
She's got like sidestepping. Her movement is easy, right? She's got a long range jab, and that's what he loves to do. He loves like backdash, long range jab punch, stuff like that. It's perfect for him. So he's picked this Kazumi, and he just starts beating the crap out of her. And then it gets to a point where he's beating him up, and there's this round where he could have killed him with the wall combo, and JD lets him live.
Wow.
So Runner Black gets back up, and then JD just like backdash sidestep, back dash, sidestep, forward dash, back dash, sidestep, and Rollback like trying to hit him, he can't hit him. Finally throws out the hop kick, JD blocks, 1-1-2, you're dead. And it was just like this like hella style on with just movement and like whiff punching. He's like, oh shit. Like, and then and JD did it, and he immediately looked over to the commentators as if he wanted the flash punch combo. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh yeah. He's trying to send a message right now, you know? Like, that was
that
tight.
big ass grin looking smile, and we all smiled back at him, but you know who wasn't smiling?
Yeah, of course. So then, of course, you know, Red and Black loses the set off. You know, he loses the tournament. And he just starts complaining about the commentators because we were all like talking shit about it the whole time because he brought it on himself, right?
Yeah,
like it's not like he came up to JDCR and started talking to him, and then we snuck over and like, what's he saying? This motherfucker was so loud, everyone could hear him. You know, like he was just being a loud
his own grave, essentially. Yeah. All right.
Right. So
instant karma's a bitch. That sounds like instant karma. He asked for it and he still got it. Like,
it is what it is, man.
Damn.
He's trying to clean up his act, but you know, he can't help himself sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you're just gonna get outclassed, and you gotta admit it, man. Like, you're really like, yeah. I mean, he beat him JDCR that one time, but it's like, come on, man, it's not easy. It's mad.
Well, he beat him. He put him in losers, but JD ended up coming back, beating him, resetting the bracket. And
that was the previous week, right?
Yeah, the previous week, and winning again. You know, back to back. And I know Runner Black has been like always constantly asking JD for you know, first to fives.
It sounds like honestly like a real sports boxing ring match or something. You know, get the shit talked before the match. You know, all this extra shit that has nothing to actually do with the match to try to get in your opponent's head and all that stuff, right? To psych them out. It's like, oh, you're just mashing, blah blah blah, all that. It's like part of the game too, but it's also like, you know, he kind of might have taken it a little far, but then also at the same time, JD kind of gave it to him too. So it's like, what can I say? He kind of dug his own grave there. I can't really say more to that.
Yeah. The other person I want to leave behind before we move on to you guys is Kenny, because Kenny, we had a good match last night. I said something to him after he won a game, and he didn't like that one bit.
Wow, what did you say to him?
Dude, I was telling Steve when you guys were fucking playing that this is serious because you started opening your trap and you said something to him and Kenny got extra red. And I was thinking like, oh shit, his rosacea is kicking up. Nope, it's Rip talking shit to this fool. And he started getting louder and I was like, oh shit, these fools are talking hella shit to each other.
Because Kenny's hella good, right? But like, you know, halftime he's like super drunk at WF. So like,
it seems like a lot of the guys were drunk last night.
He hates losing to me. I don't know why, right? He always. I
can tell you why.
Whatever the reason may be, he hates losing.
I can tell you why.
Dude, he specifically told me after he lost to you, he was like, "Man, I fucking hate all you food. I hate losing to all you motherfuckers. I hate it." Like, you and Suiken went off after the tournament was over, right? He's like, "I hate Rip. I hate Suiken," and he's like, "I hate you too, Mike." And I was like, "What did I do? What the hell? Like, what the fuck?" You know what, Kenny? I'm leaving your ass behind too. Fuck that. I'm doubling up on Rips because you know why? We played in the tournament, right? And it's like, I had the game-winning round. I hit back.
Oh, you lost to Kenny.
I hit back one, right?
Oh,
I hit back one, duck one, and then my stick, I just did down forward 1-2-1, right? I got a full Corsica forward one. I was like, why the fuck would I do that? And he's like, I won. I was like, all right, Kenny, you won, man. Good shit. You could have it, right? And he's like, why aren't you not letting me have it? I'm like, dude, I just told you could have it. And then he tells me, after all that shit with you, he's like, fuck you too, Mike. And you know what? Fuck you, Kenny.
Dude, the thing about Kenny, okay, so the thing is, after I leave outside, like, we were leaving last night, Kenny, he looked at me, he's like, yo, fuck you for what you said between our matches, whatever.
What did you say? God
and then, like, I'm like, Kenny, what did I say? And he's like, I'm like, you can tell, but I don't care if everyone hears what I said, right? And so Kenny says, like, he said something like, you said that you lost that match on purpose to make it more hype. And I was like, oh. The thing is, that's not what I said.
Oh, okay.
But it's not what I said. Like, I don't know what I said even, but that's what he heard because his drunk ass head was like fucking too much alcohol. Some fucking idiot is like getting all pissed at me over shit I said that I didn't even say.
you know, goddamn Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's
Also,
funny. He's the homie. Still
I
love
saw
him.
Markman said in the chat right now that Fighting GM said he's not going to any more Masters or Challenger events because it's not worth it to him. But that means that he is the person with like the most dojo points being thrown away because New York has had the 100-man dojos.
Holy shit! So he just gate kept everybody from New
No,
York, huh?
he wasn't he wasn't trying to gatekeep. He was just trying to win money out of the tournament and
Oh,
not
okay,
care about
makes
the
sense.
points. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Like if he was gatekeeping, then it'd be a strategy. But Fighting GM doesn't have a strategy. His strategy is
He almost
to
spat out his drink. Oh shit!
his strategy has always been like let me fill my pockets with some dollary dudes,
I think you're
and fuck
speaking
everybody
facts.
else that I
Yeah.
beat. It's like, and then at the same time, he has been beating the same people over and over again, right?
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
Are you leaving GM behind, Suiken? Is that what?
I'm not leaving it. I called this out. This is like an old.
This was the
thing for
crazy
fighting.
shit.
Yeah, this is the
Suiken
oldest
called
thing.
us out before Electric Cancel. I couldn't believe
telling
it.
you.
Oh, he
Dude,
did.
This is the oldest. Like, this is how Fighting GM is, and I personally have no issues with him as a person. Like, he can do whatever he wants, right? But his experience in the Tekken scene has always left this mark, and this is the mark that I've seen time and time again, back and back, where and this is why a lot of people in the East Coast kind of have a bad taste about Fighting GM. He might be a good player, but he has a shitty attitude and he has no long-term goals to do what he wants to do with this gift he has in playing. He's a good player. He's just not a good person. Like, he's just fucking shit up. Like, I was like, why throw these points away? There are people that are really trying, so, but hey, that's my left behind.
The thing that's interesting, so if you guys don't know about what Suiken called out before, Suiken what GM was signed up for Electric Cancel, and Suiken was like, man, don't you guys remember back in the day GM would sign up for terms and not show up? And I was like,
yeah,
no, I don't remember this at all.
Dude,
like,
that was a common thing for sure.
So you remembered it too. So me and Ricksta
definitely.
heard Suiken told this to me and Ricksta, and me and Ricky were like, we don't remember this shit at all. Suiken's like, he definitely used to do
Dude,
that.
that was on the forums all the time. I clearly remember that too.
And then GM doesn't show up to Electric Cancel after signing up. I was like, what the hell? Like, what? I don't understand.
It honestly wasn't surprising to me.
Wow, Markman said he was with Attic in Japan, and Markman's like, dude, GM signed up, and Atticus said, that doesn't mean he'll show.
Yeah, see, it's like it's been.
He has a sponsor. He has a new sponsor. Look,
well, he lost his sponsor because of this.
Is it?
Oh wow!
Did that happen?
Remember, like, his sponsors.
I'm talking about currently. He just got a new sponsor in the last couple months.
No. This is that same sponsor is the sponsor that was sending him to Electric Cancel.
Okay.
And because he didn't show, that sponsor lost. He basically, forfeit his sponsorship.
Like, is that announced? Like, how do you know that?
I mean, he's not under that tag anymore.
I don't know.
So I mean, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I know some people in the East Coast will get 5. I get 4.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know about that one, right? Because I guess, right? I don't know. That's a tough one. It's a little speculation there, so I don't know.
Yeah, there is, but it's like, for someone who has been like for months, I'm talking like this entire year basically, right? Maybe last year and a half. I just remember his tweets being shit like sponsors hit me up, I just want this thing, I just want that thing, hit me up, hit me up.
Event where the sponsors at,
And then like, hey, I got a sponsor. I'm not gonna go to that event.
Yeah.
And then, or he said he missed his flight. I don't know what happened there, right? But he gets a sponsor, doesn't go to the tournament.
So he already had a flight too?
He missed the flight to Electric Cancel. That's what he said. That's what he tweeted about, right? So it's just like, this is a bad look for Tekken players. First of all, there's not enough sponsors looking to get Tekken players, right?
Right.
So this is setting a bad example to sponsors about Tekken players and the FGC. Like, hey, other sponsors, don't look at him. I mean, also, there are better people to look at.
Don't forget, Markman put out this really good video. It was an interview on how to get sponsorships too. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, make sure you guys check it out, because Markman is one of the guys that have kind of basically paved the way of opening doors for a lot of players. But at the same time, dude, it's been a long road for Fighting GM, and in this road, it seems like he goes full circle and does the same thing over and over again. Is it just me? I remember.
I mean, we saw
when
this
he was-
10 years ago, basically, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
this was so repeated when he did Evil Geniuses. Remember, like he was trying to get plugged by them, and he had an opportunity to make a breakout. He gets fucked up by the same guy twice.
So you're saying like history's like repeating
Repeating
itself,
it.
where
It's like, yeah,
he does well in a couple of tournaments, grabs a sponsor, and then
yeah.
like the old GM pops out, where it's just like,
Basically, I'm not too sure. I mean, like I said, I would love to see him challenge like before back in MLG days. He used to challenge the Koreans a lot.
yeah, we
He
just
used
want to
beat
see him
them.
as a
Yeah.
competitor. I think
That was
that's
so
like,
cool.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Summer
that's
Jam
I
what,
this
love
year.
seeing him as a
Mhm.
competitor, challenging international players, representing himself, and obviously representing his coach, and then having that honor to represent your, countryman, your person. But when you're just representing how thick your wallet can get, and you see all that stuff, it just doesn't pan out well for most people like that. Like you can't
Mhm.
expect like sponsors to say, look, we're going to sponsor you, let me line your pockets up. No, you have to work hard to build your
It's a
brand,
mutual
move
thing.
forward.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just all
yeah,
me, right? Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I understand that side
yeah, yeah.
too.
Anyways,
Yeah.
that's my rant. That's it.
Mhm.
Sticking to it. I
Wow.
called it. Yeah, from the future.
From the future. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I think we pretty much touched up on everything. Wow,
That was way longer than it should have been.
that was a really long one. I'm starting the music now. Let's go to this outro screen. Thank you guys all for stopping by. Boom, 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 the
Ready,
Boomcast.
y'all.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys again in episode 31. All right, peace out, guys. Enjoy some good ass Tekken. Peace.
Hey, by the way, I have a t-shirt for sale.
Wow, why am I so big here? You guys see it? It look it like this. Nice, huh?